Yes, guys. How you doing? Welcome back to Football Inc. How are you? Hope you're all happy and healthy doing the things that you love with those you love to do them with. Here with Jonny H. Thanks to everyone who's come over from the Spurs Talk Show. There's been some breaking news, which we're going to talk about. I'll let Jonny drop the news in a moment. We are going to be talking about Tottenham, obviously, and carrying on the conversation we had there. But there has been some other stories that have dropped regarding rule changes and Chelsea's transfer Chelsea's financial infractions and the consequences of that. So lots to talk about today. Please do smash the like button. Please do smash the subscribe button. Notification button should be squeezed. Comments should be dropped. We are available on all of your podcast platforms. Don't forget to get over there, wherever you want to find us. Spotify, you can watch us back. Apple and all that stuff, you can hear us back. Please give us a rating, a follow, and a review. And lastly, just quickly, OK Jersey. Shit, I forgot to completely plug OK Jersey on the last show. You can get OK Jersey. You can get 8% off all of your latest clobber. They've got new gear all day long. Good gear. New gear, good gear. All the gear, some idea. And you get 8% off at checkout using code FINK. Don't forget to do that if you're looking for birthday presents or whatever. Like I say, at this time of year, unlikely you're going to be buying this season's crop. They haven't got next season's stuff yet, but they do have a wonderful array of Jeremy Jacquet's, and they also have all of your retro stuff as well. An ever-expanding collective of retro stuffs from around the world of football and other sports athleisure wear as well. So please get over to OK Jersey and search for whatever you look for, and then 8% off by using code FINK. That was a bit of a mouthful for me. Jonny, how are you, my man? Good to see you.
I'm okay. I'm all good. I've had lots of messages that I should stop going to games as... I didn't go to Liverpool yesterday, and we managed to get a draw. But I don't think I have any influence, or positive or negative, on Spurs' performances. I just saw in the chat an 8% Nigerian raid. I saw. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, let's start with the.
That's why I should start. Yeah, use code Nigerian at checkout for 8% extra.
Code Nigerian. What is this?
What is this?
What is this? Right. Let's start with it. Let's start with the bullshit news. Okay. After a thorough investigation by the Premier League into Chelsea's payments to agents and the like, apparently, due to the due diligence of Clearlake Capital, the owners of Chelsea Football Club, they uncovered some unscrupulous behaviour by Roman Abramovich. Can't believe that. And because of this and the cooperation, this is what the Premier League have decided, right? So Chelsea have been fined 10.75 million. Huge sum of money for Chelsea, right? Not. And handed a 1-year transfer ban, suspended for 2 years, which means absolutely nothing, right? The Premier League has been investigating secret payments Chelsea made to agents and other individuals between 2011 and 18, when Abramovich was owner. Chelsea have also been given, wait for it, a 9-month academy transfer ban with immediate effect relating to the club's registration of youth players between 2019 and 2022. So this was stuff done by the current owners, okay? So the current owners, they've uncovered stuff done by the previous, and they've been, given a suspended sentence for unscrupulous behaviour, signing academy players between 2019 and 2022. My point is, they've been collaborating. The transactions came to light during the due diligence process when the new American owners bought the club in 2022. They reported the irregularities to the Premier League and FIFA. The Premier League says Chelsea's proactive self-reporting and the absolutely exceptional cooperation throughout the investigation acted as a significant mitigating factor when mulling over potential sanctions. Chelsea accept the terms of the settlement in full and welcome the Premier League's acknowledgement of their help in investigations. Now, the joke of this is Chelsea, because they've been cooperating and liaising and discussing with the Premier League, would have been well aware of the likely outcome of their fine. Look how many players Chelsea have signed, academy players Chelsea have signed during this investigation, which has been going on for well over a year now. So what is a 9-month? What is a 9-month fine? What's a 9-month ban? What is a 1-year ban? Suspended
It's a
for
fucking
2 years.
disgrace. It's a disgrace,
It's a joke, mate. What's the point of rules, mate?
Especially when these guys sell their left hand to their right hand and then loan it back, right? Nottingham Forest get the points deductions. Everton get points deductions for minor financial breaches. Leicester City are facing relegation to League One for their financial mismanagement.
Correct.
Chelsea have manipulated the rules for years. Abramovich's success was bought because of them getting ahead, but they still, despite all of the financial resources, despite the rules not being in place when he first comes in, he then goes and does offshore payments, buying his PA properties in Chelsea, and all of this stuff is uncovered when Todd Boehly comes in. He goes cap in hand and says, look, we uncovered this, but it wasn't us. But all of the benefit that they have of the brand that they've cultivated and built because of the last guy's regime, plus all of the financial dealings they do now, selling hotels and women's team and all that bollocks, and they get a suspended sentence. And by the way, a £10 million fine is nothing.
It's nothing. It's chicken feed, mate. Chicken feed, mate. It's embarrassing.
It's the equivalent, mate. I said this before with Aston Villa doing the similar stuff, right? Where you break the rules to get into the Champions League, where you get £100 million just for basically participating. You're still allowed to participate in the fucking tournament where you're going to earn £100 million, but you get fined, what was it, 10, 12, 15 million pound? Was it really
nothing.
Not fined? Nothing.
Yeah.
Like a 15% of the money that you make from entering the competition that you wouldn't have got in had you not actually cheated to get in there in the fucking first place. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace.
It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace.
Premier League. It's absolutely outrageous, Johnny. A suspended sentence. Fuck off.
I mean, what's the suspended sentence? It's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. 10 million doesn't mean anything. And a 9-month academy ban when they've already signed half the players they wanted. They've signed half of the Brazilian kids. They've signed half of Ecuador.
You're absolutely right. They knew this was coming.
I mean, of course they knew, right, because we've worked closely. What fine are we likely to get? What ban are we likely to get? Well, guys, between us, why don't you get all your transfer stuff done and we'll give you a 9. What is a 9-month ban? What is 9 months? Where does that even take us to? It should be including the summer, and it should be an 18-month ban on signing academy kids. Really?
They should have a transfer ban, not suspended.
You know what's going to happen, Sean?
It's suspended pending that they don't so no ban at all as long as they don't make any more breaches. They already got fucking fined for a breach last summer for the Champions League thing.
Yeah.
How many more times do they need to break the rules? Go, well, I'll give you one more chance. One more chance. I know they're different rules. I know the UEFA rules are different to Premier League. But, what are we doing here, Johnny? The fucking game is gone. The game is gone.
Do you know how embarrassing it is? Because we know exactly what's going to happen. How are they going to circumvent the ban on the academy signatures? They'll sign them through Blueco, who owns Strasbourg.
Spot on. That's exactly what they're going to do. It's exactly what they're going to do.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
They say if you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in the wrong room. Chelsea's guys are the smartest people in every room because they've got Blueco, they got hotel rooms, they got the PFR, PS. They're everywhere, and they're too clever. They figured it out, mate. They figured it out. The rules are not worth the paper they are written on, which is what I have been saying for fucking years. That people who look at the teams that do it by the books and then go, "You're shit." There's things outside of Tottenham or other people's control that dictate how well you can do. And Chelsea are masters, absolute masters of finding the loopholes. The smartest minds are looking for the loopholes and the dumbest minds are trying to close them. And there's probably 100 other loopholes that we haven't even come across yet that will be the next iteration. All the while, Manchester City, by the way, no 150, where's the verdict there? Where's the verdict there?
Well, they're negotiating with Manchester City to see what works out, right? Once Arsenal's title has been secured, right? Once the title's been secured, they will be deducted just enough points to keep them in the Premier League, right? And they will be fined, and it'll be a big fine, and they'll get a suspended sentence for X, Y, and Z. We know what's going on. We know what's going on. It's just embarrassing. And the fact that it's not spoken about enough in the press, they're so busy talking about, all of the stuff that, we've done and other clubs have done. Yeah, look, imagine how Everton, Leicester, Forest feel. It'll be the same results with City, guaranteed. These rules are a joke and only apply to smaller clubs. Corruption. It really is. I mean, it's not, it's not sour grapes. It's just like, if there's going to be rules, make the rules fit.
The punishment has to fit the crime.
What is 10 million to Chelsea? I mean, seriously.
Oh, mate.
Still one academy kid. Still one academy kid. There you go.
You've taken the jam out of my donut telling me that. Like, I wasn't aware of that. I was just finishing the Spurs talk show. Come over here and you go, breaking news. I go, on what? And you tell me, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. It's embarrassing. Donut over there, that donut out of there is now like minus jam. It hasn't just got zero jam. It's got like jam minus levels of jam. What are we doing here?
I mean, listen, Sean and I, if you're new to the channel, and if you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, please. Tell us who you support, where you're from. And if you're here, please hit the like button. Your like game is poor. There's over 300 of you in here, and we've only had about 40 odd likes. Now, if you're here for the first time, you'll know that Sean and I have often discussed since this channel started, beginning of June, that about the ridiculous manipulation of the rules by Chelsea, Villa, Manchester City, and others. With the Saudis sending players off, how there can't be dual ownership of clubs in the Premier League, yet Newcastle are owned by the Saudi PIF fund, and Chelsea, who were bought by Clearlake Capital, who one of their biggest investors just happens to be the Saudi PIF fund, and their close relationship with Saudi Arabia and deals that were going out there. So they met FFP and PSR, same with Aston Villa, with signings like John Duran going for well over market price off to Saudi Arabia. And then 6 months later, he's in Turkey. There's a lot of manipulation going on. We've spoken about it before. What other club, for example, could, like Chelsea, lose a manager, go straight to Strasbourg and drag the guy out the next morning and say, right, you don't belong to Strasbourg anymore. You're going to Chelsea. We own your ass, because they own Blueco and Clearlake Capital, both two separate companies owning the same clubs. Basically, it's an embarrassment. It really is. And we wait with bated breath, to find out what punishment Manchester City. It's like, you know what it's like, Sean? It's like one of those movies that you go to see, a whodunit movie, and you think, well, I don't need to wait for I know what the ending is. One of the worst films you will ever see.
When I first came to Chelsea, I thought that we were guaranteed the Champions League every single year. Then I realized that wasn't the case, so I just started like selling my left hand to my right hand and buying it back a little bit. It doesn't really look like Todd Boehly, but it kind of does look a little bit like Todd Boehly. Can you see a bit of Boehly in there, Johnny?
Yeah, I wasn't sure whether that was Todd Boehly. I wasn't sure whether that was Todd Boehly.
The game is gone. The game's gone,
I wasn't
the game
sure
is
if
gone.
it was Ange Postecoglou without his beard. It's got a bit of everything. It's got a bit of everything.
A bit of Todd Boehly there. Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's embarrassing. Should we talk about rules and rule breaking, and should we talk about the new rules? Let's talk about the new rules for next season and the rules that you're going to see in the World Cup coming up. Some of them are like, I don't know. I'm sure they're gonna be manipulated. EA Sports is in the game. Yeah, absolutely. Have you got those?
The game is gone. The game is
gone. The game is gone. Have you got those images, Sean? Should we whack them up?
First one.
Right. So we got here a 5-second countdown for throw-ins. and goal kicks. If the referee believes a throw-in or a goal kick is taking too long and being deliberately delayed, a 5-second visual countdown will begin. It's like American sports, mate. If the ball still isn't in play, when the countdown ends, the throw-in goes to the opposing team and a delayed goal kick results in a corner kick for the opponents. What are we thinking about that one, Sean?
Yeah, probably right. Probably right.
But
I mean, will it be enforced? I don't know. If the referee believes a throw-in is taking too long, a 5-second countdown, a visual countdown will begin. So he's doing that. Is he 5, 4? Listen, I mean, I do think the game is taking too long. I think too much of the game is being played waiting for people to take corner kicks and throw-ins and goal kicks. How long is the current rule on goal kicks? Is it 8 seconds right now?
Well, it's 8, but how often do we see it enforced? You see, I got to tell you,
it was only enforced once, wasn't it? That was Tottenham Burnley first game of the season. That referee got a little bit punchy, and then he went, probably a little bit.
These Muppets, they come up with a new rule. They implement it for 5 minutes, and then it's gone. So the original one was, once you've got a throw-in, you've got 5 seconds to take it. That was the Premier League, right? Absolute Muppets, right? Oh, yeah. So Thiago, what's his name? Is it what's his name? Who throws the ball for Coyote, right? Who throws the ball for Brentford? If he's on the other side of the pitch, it's going to take him 10 seconds just to get there. Yeah. So they've obviously, FIFA have refined it. I don't mind that so much, but again, how can you define too long? What is too long, Sean?
Exactly.
It's bollocks. It's bollocks. What is too long? If the referee feels that it's taking too long, he will implement a 5-second clock. But what is too long?
Yeah, so it's 30 seconds, and then he gives the 5 seconds. Nothing changes. It just becomes like, it's ridiculous, isn't it? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, make it. You got 30 seconds to take the throw on. End of.
I still think 30 seconds is too fucking long, though. Like, mate.
You've got to come over. If someone's coming over to take
it, no, then I think fuck the long throw. Just get on with it. The left back takes the throw in from the left. The right back takes the throw in from the right. That's the way it always was. But get on with the fucking thing. You shouldn't take any more than 15 seconds. We are getting robbed. We're paying £100 a ticket, and we're only seeing for 90 minutes of football, and we're only seeing. You know what? The probably the right thing to do, Johnny, is to sit there and say, make the game 60 minutes long, 30-minute halves. But when the game goes out, when the ball goes out of play, the clock stops. So you're guaranteed some level of action for your money, because I've seen Newcastle games where the ball was in play for 55 minutes.
Yeah, but Sean, this is a farce. This all depends on the referee's preference. If he doesn't like you, right? If he's refereeing Arsenal, you can have 40 seconds before I implement the 5-second clock. And if I don't like you, right, or if I'm in a pissed off mood today, I'm going to implement the 5-second clock after 10 seconds. You're taking too long.
It gives more reason for the referees to be main character syndrome.
Correct.
100%.
100%.
What's the next one?
Let's have a look. 10-second time limit for substituted players to leave the pitch. So to keep the game flowing, substituted players must leave the field within 10 seconds of the substitution board being shown on the referee's signal. If they fail to leave in time, they must still exit the field, but the substitute cannot enter the first stoppage after 1 minute running clock following the restart. I mean, what happens if if they've gone like this to substitute, but the guy's on a stretcher?
You're right, exactly.
Or he's
you got the medical people running as fast as they fucking can to get the guy off. They slip, the player falls off the stretcher.
I mean, look. So what it all means? I think they're looking. I think they're trying to find something. Tweak it. Is this really going to be? Listen, the one thing I don't understand about a lot of this is, why should the player who's fouled the player, why should the team that's fouled the player be the beneficiary of the foul, right? With the player who's been fouled and injured having to go off in the first place. I always believe a fairer system would be if you fouled the player and he goes off, you also have to go off until that player comes back onto the pitch.
Well, that's interesting. But then you might have manipulation of that situation as well, whereby, like, if you're chasing the game, you might let the weaker player on the pitch go down, and then roll around.
From a yellow card. I'm talking about like something that's given a yellow card. Yeah, from a bad challenge.
No, I'm just saying, like, there'll be if that rule. I don't. It's interesting. I haven't thought about that. You're right. You're right that if I'm fouled and I'm hurt because of your challenge and we get a free kick, then if I roll around, I have to go off the pitch for 20 seconds. If the free kick doesn't go the right, if the free kick is intercepted and you're down to 10 men and the referee's got to wait until the player comes back or wave the player back on, that's a disadvantage. Yeah. You're absolutely right. But if you were to also make the fouling player go off as well, there would be some clever little shit somewhere who's doing dark arts mastery that's figured out a strategy to take advantage of that situation as well.
But do you understand? I never understood the victim gets punished.
That's a good point. I never thought about it.
I mean, like when they're sitting there in their meeting, has no brain box brought that one up? Because that would be more interesting, right? Less everything to actually make shitty challenges. What's the next one?
Sin bins. We're bringing sin bins as well, right? If the referee gets spoken to badly, you have to kind of spend 2 minutes off the pitch. Penalty plays. We're going to turn this sport into complete madness very soon. Next one is an injured player has to be off the field for a minute. If a player receives an on-field treatment for an injury or their injury stops play, they must leave the field and stay off for 1 minute after play restarts.
So it's longer now.
It's ridiculous. If they're the victim of someone else's foul, that's ridiculous, isn't it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, who came up with that? Who came up with it? We're going to extend it to make the punishment even greater for the victim. So if Casemiro slides down the back of your calf and you've been injured and you go off, you have to go off for a minute. I mean, a minute's huge in football.
It is. Yeah, you're right.
Anything can happen.
That's actually fucking bonkers, mate. That is bonkers. Obviously, they're doing it to curtail the time wasting that goes on. But
how's an injured player?
There's also sincere. Well, some players aren't injured, are they? Some players just roll around, right? And they're always fine. But so they're putting that in to try to sort of curtail that stuff. But there's obviously, I don't know, some percentage of people that roll around injured that are actually injured because of someone else's tackle.
How are we defining injury? I mean, like,
I think it should be not after a foul. Like if someone's fouled you, you shouldn't have to go off for a minute. It's if you're just rolling around. I don't even know. This is why I'm not a fucking referee. I think that rule has got all sorts of problems with it. Like you're right. You're punishing the victim. Seems like being in the British society right now, doesn't it, Johnny? Victims getting punished.
I mean, it's just like, honestly, it's like,
I think Keir Starmer probably had something to do with that rule. I think probably,
Yes. Anyone seen behaving in a word with hurty words? Anyone seen giving hurty words to any members of the opposition will be dealt with, will be taken away and dealt with very severely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's this? I haven't read the lines here, but more power for VAR. For fuck's sake. I mean, I already hate it. I haven't even seen what the detail is, but I already hate it. Should be less power for these donuts. If there is clear evidence, the VAR can assist the referee with red cards resulting from a clearly incorrect second yellow card. Cases of mistaken identity when the wrong player or team is penalised, and a clearly incorrect corner kick decision, provided the player can be complete. The review can be completed immediately without delaying the restart. So situations like yesterday when Salah shoots the ball and it's a goal kick given when it should have been a corner, or vice versa, the VAR can step in, yeah?
But apart from that last one, without delaying the restart, does that mean if they've missed it, it's too late?
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean,
how quickly just fucking get rid of VAR. I know they're never going to, because it's all about and you bang on, by the way, a couple of weeks ago or a month ago, whenever it was, when you said, when will they have VAR sponsored by, Specsavers or whatever? And by the way, Specsavers had to get all over that. Specsavers should get all over that in a heartbeat.
100%, mate. 100%. If I was the head of Specsavers, I would be in there like a shot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't monetized it already. I mean, it's crying out. It's crying out for it. Yeah,
I bet you there'll be more sponsorships in the world on the TV for the World Cup. You already said that there's all these additional water breaks, 15-minute water breaks that happen to coincide with the natural programming of adverts for the games in America. There will 100% be something like, if I don't know, is there VAR in the World Cup? I don't know. I think there must be.
Yeah,
right?
Of course there are. Yeah.
So
it'll be automatic.
Listen, America. If anyone's going to think about like monetizing VAR, it's going to be America, isn't it? Let's be honest.
What time is it? It's Infantini time. Oh yeah. We need Brazil to win. Can you let the referee know, please?
Yeah, for sure.
Need America.
Listen, quite honestly, if that America don't get to the final, I think there's something going on. It's fake news. Fake news. America didn't lose. They didn't lose to Mexico. No.
They gave me the peace prize. Amazing prize. Oh, fucking hell. Honestly, I mean, like, what are we doing here? 15-minute, like, quarters. We can have quarters in football. I mean, I'm baffled by what's going on. You know, the rules are bad enough now. We got so much stoppage, for VAR. I mean, it used to be 90 minutes. You never used to have extra time, really. The referee would sort of like look at his watch and what have you. Now games can go on for like a lot longer now, before and after. But let us know. Let's see some of your comments. Stuff yesterday. It was always about Sunday coming, biggest game in our history. Hang on a second.
Sorry about
that. Cheerleaders. Well, Sean and I aren't against cheerleaders.
Always, definitely, no problem there. No problem.
No, we don't have any problem with cheerleaders.
Although I don't know, mate. Have you seen America's got 330 million people to choose from, and when you look at the NFL, they've chosen very, very intelligently the cheerleaders. In England don't really have cheerleaders, but they do have them at the darts. I don't know if you've seen the darts, the World Championships. You'd think that England could do a little bit better with their choice of cheerleaders at the back, the dancers on the stage they're a little bit ropey, mate. They're like Weatherspoons cheerleaders, like, I don't know. They're not ideal. Whereas America, they prioritize the right caliber of cheerleader. I'm not negging on the British birds, but like, I don't know. I just got a feeling that if they had cheerleaders at White Hart Lane, they'd probably be a little bit disappointing.
Listen, I think they want to make it exclusive so that to make the wokes happier as well. So we'll probably have very large men with leotards.
Meat and two veg bouncing all over the place in some light,
throwing each other up in the air.
Yeah. Mia's in the house. Says you, Sean. Have you looked yourself? Mia don't like a little bit of British bird slaggery,
No, listen,
I'm not trying to be a cheerleader, Mia. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying. I'm not against it. Just do better.
We definitely look VAR. Can girls come on whilst VAR reviews are under discussion?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, rather get on with it. Carry on looking. More of this. More dancing.
More VAR.
More VAR. More VAR.
Can you imagine? They keep running out of the tunnel. The girls have been knackered. They've been more knackered than some of the Spurs players running in and out of the tunnel. The amount of stoppages we've had for VAR. Oh dear, mate. Right, let's talk about the football. Funny old thing that's what we were originally came on for. The big winners and losers yesterday, Sean. Let's start with the Arsenal and City. I thought Everton were fantastic yesterday. On Saturday. And I think I've got a few Everton fans that come in here and watch my streams. And I thought they was extremely unlucky. Max Dowman, I don't know what words you can use for this kid, just 16 years of age. He's going to be Britain or England's Lamine Yamal. He's an incredible player, 2-footed, unbelievable faith in his own ability. But that goal, come on, the first goal was so lucky. I mean, what was Pickford on? Everton have played so well. They deserved a minimum of a point. First half performance was fantastic. And he goes to punch the ball. He always has those Pickford moments, completely misses the ball. It hits Hincapié, like he got the assist. It literally hit him and ended up with Gyökeres with his stupid celebration to put the ball in the net. And I thought it was harsh. I thought it was harsh on Everton. But listen, Sean, when it's going for you, it's going for you. You only had to look into that Arsenal crowd to see that they were seriously worried that they were going to be dropping points. I don't think any of them thought in that 89th minute that they were actually going to get over the line. And I'll be honest, I think that's really, apart from the Man City game, that's really their last series test in their home run. Man City have got Chelsea away still. And I can't see.
Oh, it's done.
It's done. I actually think, man, they won the game. Dowman's finish again. Pickford, did you see Pickford?
Bournemouth might be able to give them a couple of trouble, and they got Newcastle as well. But I mean, it's basically done. Like, I mean, City needed to beat West Ham. You know,
yeah, they needed to beat West Ham. I mean, that second goal that they scored. I mean, Pickford's come up for the corner. And he just stops. He goes to the ball and he thought, oh, no, I'm not going to be needed. The guy's going to tackle. And then by the time he woke up and tracked back, it still wasn't even in the box. Lovely. Great for the kid. Fantastic moment for Dowman. And, the hype is real. It really is real. I mean, I've spoken to football people and they said to me that this kid is just unbelievable, exceptional, generational talent. I know we've heard it all before, and he's literally only 16 years of age. I think the only thing that maybe stop him playing more games next season is just 16 would be like those growth spurts, playing games, maybe injuries and stuff. But expect to see a lot of him. I don't think we're going to see like a Theo Walcott situation where he ends up going to the World Cup at 17 because he's still only just 16. So that one's well off. But which I saw some comments from some deluded Arsenal fans that say, well, he could be going to the World Cup. No chance. No chance.
Of course not.
Man City, mate.
Madness.
Man City.
Man City just, I don't know, man. They're beatable. They're not as good. They're just not as good. They're playing a style of football that other teams have learned. Other teams have adapted to the new robotic format, and that shift has allowed not just Arsenal to be the best team, and also doing that stuff where they can find those incremental margins, but other teams have sort of tried to move in that direction. And whereas Manchester City have stayed true to their, more traditional possession football, and it just means that other teams, are capable of nullifying it. And if Haaland's not on, then if Haaland's not firing, then City just look a bit of a damp squib at times,
Well, he's a goal scorer. He's not a creator. We had this conversation before, there were people saying, is he better than Harry Kane? And da-da-da-da-da. I don't think he holds a candle to Harry Kane. He is a goal scorer. He's not the player that's going to drop deep, pick up the ball and spray the ball to the other side of the pitch. Harry Kane could probably carry on playing football well into his 30s because he's never been blessed with pace. He can drop deep. Haaland's all about power and pace. That's what he is. He's not, I wouldn't class him as.
Do you think though, if Erling Haaland stays in the Premier League for the next, I don't know, 6-7 years, if he finishes his contract at City, do you think he'll have? Do you think he'll break the scoring record?
No, because I believe he will go to. I think he'll go to Spain.
No, I mean, if he was to, if he stays here, is his goal scoring? Because he's not. You're right. He's not a well-rounded player, right? Yeah. He's brutally brilliant at what he does. But is that enough to be able to beat Alan Shearer's record, or maybe Harry Kane's record, if Harry Kane comes back and carries on for a few more years later on?
I listen. I personally think that he's tailor-made for La Liga, more so than the Premier League. The physicality of the Premier League. He can't impose himself like he used to with his physicality in the Premier League. I think he will be able to get away with it much more in the less physical La Liga, where it's more about style and play. But listen, big up to Nuno, right? Because he has absolutely turning that team around. It's unbelievable what he's done there. And, a team that couldn't buy a win, couldn't buy a draw, couldn't do anything really. And he's brought in those players. Big up to the West Ham board. I noticed incredible that the fans were giving the red cards to the board during the game or before the game. And in comparison to the Spurs board, who didn't spend anything, this lot, they spent money and tried to get them out of jail. But their defending at times was unbelievable. I can never pronounce his name. Mavropanos. I mean, he seemed to be fired up. I wonder why. Being
he had a fantastic
Arsenal.
last 15 minutes, didn't he? He was unbelievable in the last 15.
I mean, ex-Arsenal, mate. Do you think he was motivated by any chance?
Yeah,
and he scored the goal. He scored the goal. But let's be honest, it was a terrible mistake from Donnarumma. Again, came out, completely missed it. Should have done better. They never offered anything. I think they had one shot? Let me just have a look here. I think it was only one. Yeah, they had one shot the entire game. Man City had 24 shots to their one shot. And that was the header that literally came off the bar and went in. So, in all sense and purposes, they were unlucky. But you can't break down when they've got 7 or 8 men behind the ball consistently. It was never going to happen. But how is that going to be? Do you think West Ham have got enough to get them out of it now? Because in that game, they just sat back, Sean.
They've got a difficult game next, mate. They've got Aston Villa next. Aston Villa not quite as good as they have been. Obviously, they got smashed by... But did you see... is the Sun reporter for Manchester United, right? He put out an absolutely donkey-like tweet. What's his name? Is it Summerby? Is it Mick Summerby? Something like that. He came out and said... Unai Emery proving once again that he is a second-tier / third-tier team manager. He failed at Arsenal. Aston Villa haven't won a trophy in 30 years. And once again, Villa doing worse and worse when they come to Old Trafford. United should never consider signing him as their next manager in the summer. Even Matt Law came out and said, who's like their colleagues, obviously. Matt Law came out and said, by that logic, Pep Guardiola should never go to Manchester. Should never even consider going to Aston Villa. Like he 100%. Is getting slaughtered. This guy's getting. He's the Sun journalist for Manchester United, and he's using the most absolute bonkers logic. It's not Unai Emery's fault that Aston Villa haven't won a trophy for 30 years, right?
Exactly.
And, it also wasn't his fault that he didn't win a trophy at Arsenal. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But the logic employed there, this guy went to journalism school and has got a top job in journalism, is coming out with absolute waffle. I'd be more than happy for United to wipe Unai Emery off their managerial list, because I'd wet myself if Tottenham could get Unai Emery into Tottenham Hotspur. I think he's an 100%. Absolute legend of a manager. I think he's so unbelievably talented. If you can put the right DOF around him and back him and let him do his thing. But I couldn't believe what I was reading. This is like a top journalist saying schoolyard stuff, like schoolboy stuff.
Do you know what it is? It's a bit like when you do your job right and you did all the theory, right? But when you go into the field, theory is very different to the reality of actually having to perform in the field. And that's a bit like it. I studied journalism, right? Okay. But then you've gone into the football world and you're coming up with bozo comments that are ridiculous, right? It can't stop you. You can construct it in the right way, but it's about your content and what you put out, like us. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. I couldn't believe that, a top journalist would say such childish things. But anyway, sorry, back to the point, mate. West Ham have enough? What I would say, mate, obviously we'll come to the Leeds game and the Forest game in a minute. Then let's just pivot to Tottenham, because I do want to talk about this notion. I mentioned this last night to you on the stream. I do have to. It begs the question whether or not last night's result is as meaningful for Tottenham beating a poor Liverpool, or not beating, sorry, drawing with a poor Liverpool. It felt like a win to me, to be honest, because of what we've been going through. But I think that it also might play into the minds of the fan bases and the team of our relegation rivals. You know, I think a lot of them have probably been sat there going, "We're staying up because look how shit Tottenham are. They are so bad. They hate each other. There's no energy. There's no confidence. There's no chemistry. There's none of that stuff. All we got to do is just get a couple of points. Just win one more game. Basically, just get 3 points ahead of Tottenham, and then Tottenham aren't going to win a game for the rest of the season." And so they probably had part of their belief in themselves was also buoyed by the lack of belief that Tottenham had in themselves. But after a result like yesterday, Johnny, does that recalibrate the minds of not just Tottenham fans, Tottenham players, but also West Ham, Forest, Leeds? They get shit. Tottenham got a point at Anfield. Maybe they're maybe it's not.
Look, as far as all I know is that goal was a huge boost, you know, for the players, the manager, the Spurs fans, and a massive kick in the guts for Forest, West Ham, Leeds, and Stellegation. And it was the truth, isn't it? And I think, yeah,
you didn't celebrate the score, mate. I went and looked at anyone go and take a look at Stell's. I said, look, I work with a guy, like the guy. You know, it's all banter, but I got to call it out. I went and took a look at his watch along. Go and zoom through it to the point where Tottenham scored. He's a Tottenham fan at Anfield, right? Tottenham fan. When he scored, he went, "Oh no, Tottenham have just scored." Come on now. Shameful, isn't it, Johnny? I know he wants relegation. I called him out on it on the WhatsApp group. He was like, "Sean, I want relegation." So, like, what do you expect from me? Which is fair enough, I guess. But, like,
I don't listen. I don't.
What are we doing here?
Sorry.
It's mental.
Listen, I've been supporting this club all my life, right? Okay. I just want to win football games and go home happy, right? And to wish and hope for relegation to prove your point somehow. And even relegation is not going to prove your point. Might have to wait. Can you imagine? Like, you prove your point, you think it's good for you, and then you go down and it's the opposite. It's actually even worse for you, which I believe is going to be the case.
Which is what he really wants.
Yeah, but I look, for me, to answer your question, I think coming up to that last few minutes, Forest fans, Leeds fans, and West Ham fans and their boards were sitting there, going like this. And when that goal went in, that definitely was like, oh shit, yeah.
And we have to harness that. The fact the football players, the Tottenham players, need to harness that, and someone needs to remind them. You know, it's not just you guys that and the Tottenham fans that were watching that game. It's all of the other teams as well. You know, and those teams are going shit. Like we have to take advantage of that. And, like, manufacture some level of, even if it's false confidence, manufacture it. You know, to be able to take this and spin it into something where it can manifest into something more, because it's just a point, right? And everyone else at the bottom got a point as well. Everyone else got a point. So nothing's changed before the weekend to after the weekend, Johnny. Nothing's changed. But
no, nothing has changed. And, you know, look, one swallow don't make a summer, as I often say. And no one's fooling themselves. You know, I see a lot of people, oh, you're all, you know, celebrating a draw. Listen, I'm still not happy. I'm happy in that moment. I'm allowed that moment, and Spurs fans are allowed to celebrate the moment, which was Richie's goal last night. But on a whole, how can you be happy and celebrate the fact that it's 2026, it's March 16th, and we still haven't won a game this year? That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. And no one's, you know, is blind or ignorant to the facts of where we are right now. This is a battle. But I'm a believer of momentum. And just as we saw West Ham get that goal against us, of all people, when Callum Wilson got that late goal to get the win, that was a catalyst for them to move on and start winning games and getting points. And I'm hoping that point, that goal, is a massive lift for the dressing room and all the players and all the fans. And you know, I'm a big believer that on Wednesday, the game against Atletico Madrid is just as important as Forest. Now, people will say, well, how can it be just as important? I believe it's just as important for the momentum of winning. It's when you are not winning, the chance to win a game is what it's all about. And if we can go there on Wednesday, even if we win 1-0, it's the continuation, the momentum, taking that into the Forest game, the belief. Because I looked at some of the players in that Palace game, and they looked absolutely shone of any belief that they could turn it around. The body language was shocking. At Fulham,
Well, that has to change now after that game, right? After yesterday.
I think it does. I mean, look at the reaction off of the bench. Look at everyone was absolutely buzzing. You know, I think everyone gets lifted by that. You know, how are we going to get out of here? And yes, I do believe there were certain players in that squad and still who are thinking, well, you know, it doesn't really bother me. You know, if we go down, they're probably thinking about what happens if we go down. That's all right. I've got to get out clause. Whereas if we stay up, see, for me, the best scenario, Sean, is a near fatal car crash where somehow we stay up by the skin of our teeth and the board say we can't let this ever happen again because our $3.5 billion.
You bring in Dougie Freeman, you get rid of Johan Lang, you get rid of Vinay, you bring in, or in if Vinay stays, whatever. I don't know. I don't know who the right CEO would be.
You bring in a top manager. You bring in top
manager. You sell a few of the bad apples. You sell Romero. You sell Mickey van der Ven if you want to. You sell Pedro Porro. You raise 200 million quid that way. You know, you sell a couple of other players. And then you go and rebuild. You bring in Senesi from Bournemouth, right? You bring in some players that are Prem proven, that can grow in a new team, and you bring in oven ready, but also have some room for growth in their own sort of careers and prospects. And then you build around certain players. You bring back Luka Vuskovic, and you go and bring in a top striker, some top wingers, and then you go again, right? And you just make sure that you've got, even if they're not like top players yet, like you bring in a Dougie Freeman and let him go and find the next Eze, the next Elise, the next Mateta, the next whatever. You bring in these sorts of people that know what they're doing. Less of the Johan Lang, more of the Dougie, more of the Paul Mitchell's. Where you bring in people that know what they're fucking doing, that have some gumption, that have some style. You don't need to go down for that to happen. And I really hope that the club are watching this situation and are already going like, please, let's fucking like stay up, but then we'll have the right change in place. Going down doesn't allow any of that to happen. And this narrative that because they're forced to make better decisions, they suddenly will. It's just such a it's a ridiculously logic absence argument.
What about this one? I actually think we need more than 38 points, Spurs. I think whoever survives, I think could need 40. I'm thinking.
You think it will go to 40 points? It might do. You know what? It might go to 40 points.
I mean, what are we on now?
What's the high? Can anyone in the chat do a little Google for me? What or Grok it or Chat GPT or whatever?
35, I think, is the. I think it was 30.
What's 38. The highest? What's the highest amount of points that a team has ever had and got relegated? Unless anyone knows that answer.
I think it might be 42. I think it might be 42. I think it might be. You have to check, but not 40. You don't think 40? Well, I mean, we're at 30 now. It's 10 points. That's 3 wins and a draw for safety.
Shall we do the prediction roundup, mate?
Well, let's have a look. Well, let's just do. We've got that one. Let's quickly do the other game, which was yesterday.
Forest Fulham, isn't it?
But Forest Fulham, Forest denied. I mean, I've got to be honest with you. That goal should have stood. It was an elbow. It's an elbow. What are we talking here? I mean, really? I mean, listen, I'm over the moon that the goal was. I thought so. 42. Yeah.
Well, there was more games then.
Yeah. 42. I think in the last few years, I think it was 38 points. Just check 42. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Forest. I'm happy the goal was disallowed. They dominated the second half, been all over Fulham, but an elbow. listen, for me, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Hate Marinakis, hate what he's done to Palace, what he's done with Morgan Gibbs-White. That's going to be a shit show. Could you imagine how many players are going to be leaving that club in the summer if they go down?
I think it will be one of Tottenham or Forest.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Sunday is the biggest game ever, I think.
Yeah, it's absolutely huge. Huge mungus. But listen, they deserved it. And the Palace game, Palace Leeds. I mean, Leeds get sent off. Goodmanson at 45 minutes just before half time, I think it was, to play 45 minutes with 10 men against Palace away from home. They're fighting. I think they stay up. I think they deserve to stay up. They've battled well.
I just think they don't have as much quality in their team as Forest do. Tottenham, if Tottenham can get a few players back, right? If you can get Destiny Udogie back if we can beat Forest, and then we get Udogie back, Kudus back, then I think we should be okay. Like beat Forest, and I think Tottenham stay up. It's basically where I'm at.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
It's not done and dusted at that point by any stretch of the imagination, because I actually agree with you guys, Johnny. I think that 38 points might not be enough. And big up to David R for doing the data here. The rate of survival from the BBC increases to 80% for 38 points, 90% for 40 points, and 100% for 43 or more. So if you get 43 points or more, you're guaranteed to stay up.
Take this call, Sean.
All right, no worries. 100% for 43 or more points. I actually think that this season might be one of those seasons where you definitely might need 40 points. I think Johnny's right there. Let's have a look at the Premier League table. Big up to you, David, for finding that. I'll do the super chats actually whilst I'm here quickly. Ratatata or Rika Kaka, always here. It's 1 o'clock. It must be 2 o'clock in the morning, and she's still out here drinking G&T out in Australia. Out of the bath. Out of the bath, Ulrika. For yourself another G&T. We got Tottenham and football to discuss. Big up to Ulrika. Thank you very much. Sniffer, my Newcastle United man. Big up to you. Got a couple of Newcastle fans in the gaff today. David and Sniff. Big up to you, Sniff. Thanks again, mate. Appreciate you, buddy. Ratatata to you. Choo-choo to you. George, my man, George as well. We come over from the other channel as well. Big up to you, Georgie. Thank you very much again for the super sticker. Super sticker train has well and truly commenced. We've gone to Newcastle. We've gone to Sydney. And now we're back here wherever George is from. Is that in your icon? Oh, that's Chavi Simmons, isn't it? Doing the phone call thing. Big up to you. Big up to you, Georgie. Thank you very much indeed. And Ledley's knees. He says Chelsea, Goodfellas.
That's very good.
Ingredient was crime.
I call them eBay FC because they're always trading players. But Xavi Simmons, if Xavi Simmons is going to make any call, he better make a call to his form doctor, right? Yeah. Listen, I spoke to a couple of people in football, Sean, and they've said his body language is absolutely atrocious. And if you were scouting a player like that, and you were going on about how technically good he is, but you would maybe be put off by some of his body languages. Even yesterday, some of his body language when the pass didn't come off, or like being a bit peed off with someone because he didn't get the ball at the right time. Listen, I hope he makes it because I don't want to see anyone not make it. But
well, if we go down, he's definitely out, isn't he? But he want to go. But if we stay, I think new man. You bring in a Pochettino. You play someone that plays more balanced and football that kind of can build something together. I think he'll be someone that can work on the patterns. What I do have to agree with you on something that you called him out on. And this was back in late September. You were talking about how one-footed he is.
Correct.
And
against Leeds. It was against Leeds.
Against Leeds, right? But you're absolutely spot on. Yesterday, in the 95th minute, right? One of the last kicks of the game. We break and we have a chance to win it. And Xavi Simmons is down the left-hand side, and it's been smashed into space for him. And you've got Virgil van Disney, and you've got I think it was Gomez that were running back. And obviously you've got Allison that's on his 6-yard box. If what's his name? Kolo Muani was balling forward and had so much space over the top. If Xavi Simmons is supposed to be a £60 million wonder kid superstar player, he should have a left foot on him, because he could have looked up and he could have either, if it would have been a difficult one. I'm not saying it would have been easy because there was a big enough corridor, but it's still difficult. He could have banged it first time, or he could have crossed it in first time with his left foot, lifted it over them all. And Kolo Muani, I wouldn't say it would have been a tap in, but it would have been a really great chance to steal the 3 points. And you could imagine the scenes. It would have been absolute chaos if that went.
Yeah. 100%.
But because he doesn't have a left foot, he decides to pull it back onto he cuts back and then tries to whip it round, and it just becomes a nothing burger of an effort. But it's frustrating because he's a £60 million player, but all £60 million of him is in his right foot. He doesn't have a left foot.
I find it immensely frustrating.
So if Sonny's over there, Sonny had a left foot. Sonny whips that across to Harry Kane or to Brennan Johnson. If Harry Kane was over there, Harry Kane would have found the back post all day long. Brennan Johnson would have, even maybe fucking Timo Werner might have found the fucking pass, right? But Xavi Simons doesn't have a left foot, so in that situation, having a left winger that is one-footed entirely means that he's always going to cut back in. I don't mind being a one-foot dominant, but you need to have some confidence in your weaker foot, and he has none, and it's not good enough for a player that has such a reputation of being such a superstar. It's unacceptable to me to be so entirely dependent on one foot.
Oh well, I've had this. I got shot down when I made the comment before the Leeds game. Fun enough. But I posted a video. I was right by, there was the Leeds away game, and he was running down the flank. He was just about to approach. He was at the edge of the box. All he needed to do was slip the ball in, straightforward pass, right, with his other foot. And he tried the Rabona because he felt more comfortable doing the Rabona with his foot than playing with his weaker foot. He lost the ball. Leeds broke up the other end and nearly scored. And it's totally unacceptable. That clip went viral. I had millions of views. I had about 5-6 million views on it. But my point here is that I understand you can be predominantly one-footed. I don't have a problem with that. But when you're at the Barcelona Academy, you've come through there, and you've come through Dutch football, and you played in French football, and you come through all these academies, and you can't use your other foot. I mean, I'm not going to say to you about certain players, but I can tell you players that my mate has spoken to, where the dads have drilled it into these kids to use the other foot, right? We know you've got a great left foot. We know you've got a right foot, but I want you to use the other foot. Drilled it into them, right? Now, there'd never be predominantly, the other foot would always be their predominant foot. But your weakness, if you're in a game, right, Saka's strength is when he goes down that flank, right, he's equally adept on the left foot and the right foot, right? Yep. And that's the problem. But when you've only got one foot, if it's the right foot and you're a defender, try to force them onto their weaker foot and you're negating them. And for the hype that Xavi Simons has had throughout all his career, you see, this is the problem for me. He's been cosseted, he's been lauded, and he's at 22, and now you're at Spurs in a relegation scrap. And there's a reason why, in my opinion, Thomas Frank dropped him, and Igor Tudor is not playing him either. But I'm not sure whether these managers, both managers, thought, you know what, let's drop him, and we will push him to improve his output and get rid of that body language and drive him on. Igor's been here now. This is his fifth. Is it how many? Is it fifth game or sixth game? Fifth game.
That's just his fifth game. Sixth game next year.
Fifth game. Yeah, fifth game. Right. It's his fifth game, and he hasn't started. So, we haven't seen any progression. Well, he doesn't feel like he's seen any progression in his game, and it's disappointing. I want him to succeed, obviously, but he just hasn't. Spurs recruitment has been absolutely shocking. Arsenal's recruitment has been absolutely fantastic. I mean, what do you think of Man City's recruitment? I mean, you look at Mark Gahey and Semenyo, and you would think to yourself, wow, Those are two absolute game changers for Manchester City. And myself included, I really believe that those two signings could really cause Arsenal trouble and maybe close the gap on Arsenal. Semenyo with his strength up front and Mark Gahey with his ability at the back, but it isn't to be. So it's interesting. What was the other game? Manchester United, can't forget that one. Man United versus Aston Villa. Carrick on his way again, Sean. Unbelievable, really. That
Done very well.
was
6 out of 8 games, isn't it?
Yeah, Bruno Fernandes. That's now his 100th assists in all competitions. It's the 4th player to reach that milestone of assists. And he comes after Ryan Giggs, who had 249 assists, Wayne Rooney with 127, and David Beckham with 117. So that was quite good. I mean, interesting, when Michael Carrick took over at Man United, they were 11 points ahead of Aston Villa.
Yeah.
And now look at it. They've got to be favourites to clinch third. Do you think Unai Emery's? I was going to say this. Last season, they had the same thing. They started really well, but just started to drop off considerably. Are they a team, because they work so hard, that as the season goes on, a bit like Pochettino's team, the work rate is so much that players tend to drop off as the season goes on? I mean, if Brentford win tonight...
Look at this form, mate. Right? Look at this form. So obviously United are doing well, right? So United have got 10 points from 15.
Yeah.
10 points from 15 still isn't spectacular for the team in third spot, but they're doing very well. Aston Villa, 4 points from 15. Liverpool, 10 points from 15. Obviously a disappointing result yesterday, but they haven't looked great. And Chelsea fucking shit as well. Chelsea got 5 points from 15.
Let me tell you, Brentford...
Everyone is taking points off everybody, mate. It's mental.
If Brentford win tonight, and they could easily win tonight, they go, I think it's, 5th place. They will go 3 points off of Champions League.
Yeah. And they've got Wolves, haven't they?
Yeah. Is there a sense... Do you think... I mean, we go for Manager of the Year, and it's more likely go to Mikel Arteta. But do you not think there's an argument to say that Keith Andrews should be a serious contender for Manager of the season?
Only with the people that are balanced and can recognise what growth is and what relative achievements are. Other people sit there and say a season without a trophy is failure. So Brentford have failed this season, which is just it's absolutely such a moronic and overly simplified way of viewing life and football. But
I mean, some will be putting Michael Carrick in, but it's a short... It's a small clip, isn't it?
Yeah, he's not been there the whole season, has he? So you can't give him.
But
it'll be Arteta. But if it wasn't Arteta, the next obvious candidate would probably be Andrews for sure.
Losing the manager and most of the staff, losing Brian Mbuemo and Visser, and they look better than they did last season. They really did.
They got Brentford at home? Are they Wolves at home, or is it Wolves away?
They're Wolves at home. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, what a running that's going to be. Because Liverpool look like they're giving it up, the Champions League spot, potentially. I at this stage, I'm looking at the form of these 4 teams, and I'm thinking that Brentford actually might get in there.
There's a chance.
There's more than a chance. I think it's a decent chance. Decent chance.
I mean, Chelsea.
Chelsea, you never know what Chelsea are going to turn up.
Well, they got to play Man City and Spurs. I mean, you know how difficult they find when they go.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, the PE teacher's under pressure, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Can we talk about that huddle, Sean?
Oh, it was embarrassing, wasn't it?
What is that? What is the... I mean, look, we complain on this channel that the referees are making it's all about me, right? Why did you stand? Why has he stood in the middle of that huddle? I mean, do you see Cole Palmer's face? He's like, look, what the fuck's going on here?
What's going on? Yeah, and he didn't move, did he? Just sit there. Go on then. Do you think?
I mean,
I'm not leaving.
I mean, I would love to see the mic if he had the cam on that night or for that game. what they were actually saying.
Yeah, it'd be great, actually. I wonder if that could ever be released by the ref cam.
That would be definitely be a thing. Guys, if you're in the chat, please hit the like button. And if you're here for the first time, please hit subscribe.
Yeah. I got a jump, mate. It's
no worries, buddy.
Got some things to do. So we'll do the results for the predicciones tomorrow. Appreciate 100%. Everyone for coming on. Thanks everyone for stopping by. Like, subscribe, and comment. Don't forget to get over to OK Jersey, and also don't forget to look for Football Inc. on your podcast platforms to give us a follow and a rating. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Don't forget the audios, guys. Don't forget the audios. Thanks very much for your support. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye from me.
Goodbye from him. Bye.
Bye.